students, I am Dr. Mukeet and I welcome you all to the 26th lecture of week number 9. I hope that all of you must have gone through my previous lecture by now. If you still have to watch lecture number 25, then do not waste time and watch it because soon we will have our question answer session on MS Teams based on lecture 25 and lecture number 26. Those of you who have a question related to the contents covered in those two lectures should forward their questions to their respective CRs, who will then forward those questions to me. I will forward you a feedback form of the online lectures that all of you have to fill and return within the given time frame. It is extremely important for you because your attendance for the whole week will be marked on the basis of that feedback form. Late or no submissions will be marked as absent. Now, before we formally start this lecture, I believe that I should take you in confidence related to the delay in uploading the lectures of EE231. Unlike other courses, this course was approved late due to some administrative issues. Therefore, it is going at a slower pace, but soon we will catch up. In the previous lecture, we mainly discussed about the main topics of chapter number 1, chapter number 2, and chapter number 3 that deals with the semiconductor diodes, diode applications, and bipolar junction transistors. We also discussed about a few topics of chapter number 4, including fixed bias configuration, load line analysis, effect on the position of Q point by varying different parameters, and solved a few examples related to these topics. In today's lecture, we will discuss about the remaining configurations of a BJT, including emitter bias, voltage divider bias configuration, collector feedback configuration, emitter follower configuration, common base configuration, and finally, miscellaneous bias configurations. We will also learn how to design different BJT circuits to use them for desired applications. The first BJT configuration under discussion in today's lecture will be emitter bias configuration, whose general circuit diagram can be seen in this figure. The design of this configuration is such that a resistor is connected with the emitter leg of a BJT. Purpose of this emitter resistor is to improve stability. As the more stable a configuration will be, the less its response will be affected by undesirable changes like temperature and other such parameters. As we know that in this chapter, we are only dealing with the DC equivalent circuits of BJTs. Therefore, we need to understand the DC equivalent circuit of emitter bias configuration to solve its related examples. The DC equivalent circuit of this configuration is shown in this figure. As you can see in this diagram, we have removed the capacitors C1 and C2 as they can be replaced with open circuits in DC analysis. Secondly, for the ease of understanding, we have separated the DC power supplies of VCC for both the input and the output loop. In order to do the DC analysis of this configuration, we need to divide its DC equivalent circuit into two parts, that is input loop and output loop, as we did for the fixed bias configuration in our previous lecture. The input loop of emitter bias configuration is shown in this figure. It can be seen in this figure that all components of base emitter or input loop, including VCC, RB, and RE, are connected with each other. After drawing the input loop, the next step is to form mathematical equations of this loop by applying KVL on it. As you know that in applying the KVL formula, we need to sum the voltages across each component of a loop and equate them to 0. Therefore, the equation of input loop will be VCC minus IBRB minus VBE minus IERE is equal to 0. In this equation, we have mentioned the voltage drops of the power supply, the voltage drop across RB, the voltage drop across the base emitter junction, and the voltage drop across the emitter resistor. As you can see that IB is present in more than one terms, so take IB common from these terms to get equation number 4. In equation number 5, we have just shifted the negative terms to the other side of the equation. Finally, the equation to calculate the base current IB can be divided by making IB as the subject and shifting all quantities to the right hand side to get equation number 6. As you can see in this whole slide, we have derived the formula for IB by applying KVL on the input loop of emitter bias configuration. You must have noticed that the only difference in the equation of IB for the fixed bias configuration and emitter bias configuration is the term beta plus 1 RE in the denominator of equation 6. This additional term is due to the presence of RE connected with the emitter leg in emitter bias configuration. Now that we have derived the equation of input loop, let us now derive the equation for the collector emitter or output loop of emitter bias configuration. The emitter collector loop is shown in the figure on which we need to apply KVL again. There are 3 components attached in this loop other than the BJT itself, and these 3 components are this RC resistor, this RE resistor, and the power supply of VCC. Therefore, we have a total of 4 terms in the equation of our output loop, as can be seen in equation number 1. These are the voltage drops across RE, collector emitter junction of a BJT, RC, and the power supply VCC. By taking IC common from the voltage drops across RC and RE, we can rewrite equation number 1 as equation 2. Now let us separate VCE from the remaining terms of equation 2 as represented in equation number 3. That will give us the value of voltage drop across collector emitter junction of a BJT. Equation 3 is the main equation that is derived after applying KVL on the output loop of emitter bias configuration. There are various other voltages that can be found easily by using equation 4, equation number 5, equation number 6, 7 and 8. As you can see that these all equations are the basic formulas related to any BJT configuration. You don't need to derive them. The main focus of this slide was to derive this equation number 3 that has been derived by applying the formula of KVL on this collector emitter loop. The parameters of VC and VB calculated by equation 6 and equation 8 have used the general formula of VAB is equal to VA minus VB, while equation number 7 has been derived by subtracting the voltages at the 2 terminals of the collector terminal, like this and this one. Now let us solve an example of emitter bias configuration in which we need to find all the stated parameters from A to G. That is IB, IC, VCE, VC, VE, VB and VBC. The method is quite simple as we have already used in our previous example, and that is to apply KVL on the input or base emitter loop of the given circuit. We have already found the formula for calculating IB in the previous slide as shown here. This formula has been derived by applying KVL on the input loop of emitter bias configuration. Values of all the parameters including VCC, VBE, RB, beta and RE is given to us. All we need to do is to replace these values in the equation of IB. As you would have already observed that when we are solving BJT circuits, finding the value of one parameter gives the value of other parameters. For example, now as we have found the value of IB for part A, so by using this value we can easily find the value of IC by using the standard equation of IC is equal to beta IB. That gives us the value of IC to be equal to 2.01 milliamperes. In order to solve part C of this example where we need to find VCE, all we need to do is to apply KVL on the output loop or collector emitter loop. As derived earlier, the formula for VCE comes out to be equal to VCE is equal to VCC minus IC into RC plus RE. Just like part A, replace the values of all parameters to get VCE is equal to 13.97 volts. Part D is a little different where we need to find the voltage at the collector terminal, that is VC. The method is quite simple again, as we know that the voltage drop across RC, that is ICRC, is equal to the difference of voltage between these 2 points, that is VCC minus VC is equal to ICRC. By simply rearranging this equation, we get VC is equal to VCC minus ICRC, and by replacing the values of each parameters, we get VC is equal to 15.98 volts. Similarly, for finding VB in part F, we again need to apply the general formula of VAB is equal to VA minus VB, which in this case can be written as VBE is equal to VB minus VE, or VB is equal to VBE plus VE. That gives the value of base voltage to be equal to 2.71 volts. Lastly, we need to find the value of VBC by applying the similar general formula as applied for part E and part F. We have already found the values of collector voltage VC and base voltage VB in part D and part F respectively. Therefore, VBC can be found by using the equation VBC is equal to VB minus VC. This gives us the value of base collector voltage to be equal to 2.71 volts. Rather, I mistakenly said that 2.71 volt is the voltage at the base. This value of VBC gives us minus 13.27 volts. The next quantity that needs to be discussed about this configuration is saturation level. In order to find the value of saturation current for any configuration of a BJT, the collector and emitter terminals should be short-circuited, as can be seen in this particular figure. By short-circuiting the collector and emitter terminal, the collector emitter voltage will become equal to 0. That is, VCE is equal to 0. Now put this value of VCE is equal to 0 in the output loop equation of emitter bias configuration as shown in this slide. This gives the equation to find IC saturation or saturation current, that is equal to VCC over RC plus RE. You must understand that the saturation level current of each configuration will have a different formula, but the method to calculate this formula will be the same for each configuration, and that is just replace the value of VCE with 0 volts in the output loop equation of each configuration. The load line for for this configuration can be drawn by considering the equation of output loop as we all know that in order to draw a straight line, all we need to know is 2 points, and by connecting those 2 points, we can get the straight line for load line analysis. Both of these points can be achieved by first replacing IC is equal to 0 in the output loop equation, and then by replacing VCE is equal to 0 volt in this particular equation. By doing this, we will get one point on y-axis and the other point of x-axis. Just connect these 2 points and you will get the load line as shown in figure. As you can see in this particular diagram, this point gives us the value of VCC, where the load line cuts the x-axis, and this point gives us the value of saturation current or IC, where the load line cuts the y-axis. Now let us solve the example related to the load line analysis of emitter bias configuration for the circuit and output characteristic curve shown in this figure. In part A, we are supposed to draw the load line on the given output characteristic curve by following the guidelines as discussed on the previous slide. As already discussed, we need to find 2 points to draw a load line. One of those 2 points will be on the y-axis, where VCE is equal to 0 volts, and the second point will be on the x-axis, where IC is equal to 0 amperes. Both of these points are calculated and the resulting load line is drawn on the output curves. Now this is the calculation of those 2 points, and this is the resulting load line on the output characteristic curve. As can be seen that the IC saturation for this particular configuration and set of information is 5.45 milliamperes, while the value of VCC is equal to 18 volts. Part B is quite simple, in which we are asked to find the values of IC and VCE, where base current is 15 microampere. All we need to do is to look at the output characteristic curve and figure out the intersection point of a load line with 15 microampere base current, which in this case is represented by this Q point. Now let us discuss the third configuration in which BJTs can be connected, and that is voltage divider configuration. Voltage divider bias configuration is the most stable configuration because IC and VCE of this configuration are independent of beta, that is highly sensitive to temperature. There are 2 methods for analyzing a voltage divider bias configuration, and they are exact method that can be applied to every voltage divider configuration and approximate method that can only be applied if certain conditions are fulfilled. Now let us first discuss that how we can solve a voltage divider configuration by using the technique of exact analysis. You should remember that in order to solve a circuit by using the technique of exact analysis, you should draw the Thevenin equivalent of a given circuit. Now let us see the steps by which we can draw a Thevenin equivalent circuit of a voltage divider configuration. First of all, for the DC analysis, the circuit should be redrawn as shown in the figure. The input side of this circuit can be shown as this figure, in which you can see that each component of the input side is present with proper connections. You have already learned in the previous course of Circuit Analysis 1 that in order to draw a Thevenin equivalent circuit, you are required to find 2 quantities, and these are open circuit Thevenin voltage and short circuit Thevenin resistance. The method to find both these parameters is quite simple, as all you need to do is to replace the voltage source VCC with a short circuit to find Thevenin resistance R Thevenin. When we replace the VCC with a short circuit in the input side of the network, we get R1 connected in parallel with R2, which is equal to R Thevenin. After finding R Thevenin, we need to find the second parameter of E Thevenin or VOC to complete our Thevenin equivalent circuit. This can be calculated as E Thevenin is equal to voltage drop across R2, that is equal to R2 VCC over R1 plus R2. Now, as we successfully calculated both the parameters of R Thevenin and E Thevenin that were required to draw the Thevenin equivalent circuit of voltage divider configuration, therefore the Thevenin equivalent circuit can be drawn as shown in this figure. The remaining equations for VE, VC and VB are the same as obtained for the emitter bias configuration discussed on previous slides. Like the previous two configurations, our primary goal for this configuration is also to find the equation of IB from the input loop and the equation of VCE from the output loop by applying KVL. You will get this equation for the input loop by listing all the voltage drops with their sign conventions. As we know that IE is equal to beta plus 1 IB, therefore by replacing the standard equation in the input loop equation and making IB as the subject of this equation, we get IB is equal to E Thevenin minus VBE over R Thevenin plus beta plus 1 RE. The method to get the equation for VCE is same as before, that gives us VCE is equal to VCC minus IC into RC plus RE. So the whole goal of this slide was to discuss that how we can calculate the equation for IB and the equation for VCE for the voltage divider configuration by using the exact analysis. Now let us solve an example in which we will solve a voltage divider configuration by using the technique of exact analysis learned on the previous slide. We are required to determine the bias voltage VCE and the collector current IC for the voltage divider configuration shown in this diagram. As discussed on the previous slide, you need to calculate R Thevenin and E Thevenin to draw the Thevenin equivalent circuit of given voltage divider configuration. We are not going to repeat the derivations of R Thevenin or E Thevenin, but instead now we will directly apply the already derived formulas on the previous slide. As a first step, to find the value of VCE and IC for a voltage divider configuration, find R Thevenin by applying this formula. The value of R Thevenin comes out to be equal to 3.55 kilo ohms for the given set of parameters. After finding the Thevenin resistance, now we need to find the Thevenin voltage, that is E Thevenin, by applying the formula of E Thevenin is equal to R2 VCC over R1 plus R2. Just replace the given values in this equation to get the value of E Thevenin to be equal to 2 volts. Now as we have the values of both R Thevenin and E Thevenin, we can easily find the value of base current IB, that is equal to E Thevenin minus VBE divided by R Thevenin plus beta plus 1 RE. By replacing the values of all these parameters and variables, we get the value of IB to be equal to 8.38 microamperes. After finding the value of IB, we can easily find the value of collector current IC by applying the standard equation of IC is equal to beta IB. By replacing the values of beta is equal to 100 and IB is equal to 8.38 microampere, we get IC is equal to 0.84 milliamperes. Now we have successfully calculated one of the required values as asked in the question, that is IC. It has been calculated, but before calculating IC, we had to calculate R Thevenin, E Thevenin and IB. In order to find the second quantity of VCE that has been asked in this question, all we need to do is to apply KVL on the output loop of given circuit that gives us the equation of VCE is equal to VCC minus ICRC plus RE. By replacing the given values of all parameters, we get VCE is equal to 12.34 volts. After learning the application of direct method to solve a voltage divider configuration, now let us learn the method of approximate analysis, which is rather simpler but not applicable to all voltage divider configurations. It can only be applied if a set of conditions is satisfied. Now let us see those conditions that need to be satisfied for the application of this technique. First of all, you need to understand that beta plus 1 can be replaced with only beta because the value of beta is quite large as compared to the quantity 1. So adding 1 to it does not make any considerable difference. Therefore, we can say that input resistance Ri is equal to beta Re. If the value of beta Re is greater than or equal to 10 times the value of resistor R2, then we can directly find the base voltage VB by applying the voltage divider formula. VB is equal to R2 VCC over R1 plus R2. That is, we can assume that both the resistors R1 and R2 are connected in series, which in reality are not in series. This assumption can only be made if the condition beta Re is greater than or equal to 10 R2. Otherwise, this technique cannot be used and the direct method must be used. Once the value of VB is calculated by the above method, remaining quantities like emitter voltage VE, emitter current IE, collector current IC, and VCE can be calculated like previous examples. Now let us solve an example of a voltage divider configuration circuit by using the approximate analysis instead of direct method. We need to find the same two quantities of IC and VCE as were asked in the previous example where we applied the direct method. As a first step, check the condition that whether or not beta Re is greater than or equal to 10 times R2. By replacing the values in this inequality, we can see that this condition is satisfied and we can use the technique of approximate analysis because the value of beta Re is equal to 150 kilo ohms while the value of 10 times R2 is 39 kilo ohms and 150 kilo ohms is certainly greater than the number 39 kilo ohms. In the application of approximate analysis, we consider that R1 and R2 are connected in series. Therefore, base voltage VB is equal to R2 VCC over R1 plus R2 as shown in this equation. After finding VB is equal to 2 volt, we can easily find the value of VE to be equal to 1.3 volt by using the standard equation of VBE is equal to VB minus VE is equal to 0.7 volts. As we know that the collector current IC is approximately equal to the emitter current IE, that can be calculated as IE is equal to VE over RE and its value come out to be equal to 0.867 milliamperes. The equation for calculating VCE, however, does not change for both the methods and it comes out to be equal to 12.03 volts. This is the same example that we solved by using the direct method and it can be seen that there is only a slight difference in the values of both IC and VCE. Now that we have successfully learned both methods of solving a voltage divider configuration, let us discuss about the technique to solve the collector feedback configuration as shown in this figure. By following the same techniques of redrawing the given circuit for DC analysis and dividing it into input loop and output loop, we can easily find the equations of IB and VCE for this particular configuration. Let us now find the equation of IB by drawing the input loop of the given circuit as shown in this figure. Now by applying KVL on this loop, we get VCC minus VBE minus beta IB into RC plus RE minus IBRE is equal to 0, where RF is the feedback resistor. In order to find the equation for calculating IB, simply shift all the parameters on the right hand side of this equation by making IB the subject as shown in this equation. Now that we have found the equation of IB, you need to understand that the equation to calculate VCE will remain the same for this configuration as well, just like voltage divider configuration and emitter bias configuration, because in all these configurations the output loop is the same from where we derive the equation for VCE. We have derived the equations for IB and VCE, therefore we can easily solve the example based on this configuration of collector feedback. At first, we should calculate the value of IB by using the equation derived on the previous slide, whose value comes out to be equal to 11.91 microampere. We have simply put all the given values in the already derived equation for IB on the previous slide that gives us this value of base current. After calculating IB, we need to find the value of collector current IC to finally calculate VCE. The value of IC can be calculated by using the standard equation of IC is equal to beta IB, and it comes out to be 1.07 milliamperes. Finally, we can now find the value of VCE by using the output loop equations that has already been listed on the previous slide. In this equation as well, we have just placed the values given to us in this particular configuration, and the value of VCE comes out to be 3.69 volts. Now let us discuss about yet another BJT circuit known as emitter follower configuration, whose circuit can be seen here. First of all, we need to derive the equation for its input and output loop as we did for the previous configurations. Let me repeat the steps once again for you. The first step is to redraw the given circuit for the DC analysis by replacing all the capacitors with open circuit and separating the voltage supply of VCC for both input loop and output loop. The input loop of the given circuit after redrawing for DC analysis looks like the one shown in this figure. When we apply the KVL equation on the redrawn input loop, we get this equation for the base current IB. This final equation for IB can be obtained by replacing IE with beta plus 1 IB as shown here. After solving the input loop, now let us find the equation of VCE for the emitter follower configuration that turns out to be equal to VCE is equal to VEE minus IERE. Observe that like the previous output loop equations of other configurations, this equation has no terms of ICRC, and that is due to the reason that now resistor is connected to collector terminal of this configuration, as can be seen here. As now resistor is connected with the collector terminal, therefore there is no term involving the voltage drop across RC. Now let us solve an example of emitter follower configuration to find the values of IB and VCE by using the equations derived on the previous slide. The value of IB comes out to be equal to 45.73 microamperes by replacing all the given values in the input loop equation. Once the value of IB is known to us, the value of IE can be calculated from the formula of IE is equal to beta plus 1 IB. This value comes out to be equal to 4.16 milliamperes. Finally, the value of VCE can be calculated by using the equation for the output loop as shown here. You can review the previous slide for its derivation. The last BJT configuration that we should learn in this course is the common base configuration as shown in this figure. The method to solve this circuit is exactly same as for the previously discussed BJT configurations. That is, first of all, redraw this circuit for DC analysis and divide the redrawn circuit into its input loop and output loop. Unlike all the previous configurations discussed so far in this chapter of BJT networks, solving the equation of input loop will give us the value of emitter current IE as shown in this equation. In the previous configurations, when we solve the input loop equation, we get the value of IB, and when we solve the output loop equation, we get the value of VCE. But for a common base configuration, by solving the input loop, we get the value of emitter current instead of base current. Another difference of this configuration with the previously discussed configurations is that instead of two equations, we will form three equations. The extra equation can be formed by applying KVL to this bigger loop. That is, we will apply three loop equations. The first one will be on the input loop, the second one will be on the output loop, and the third one will be on this bigger loop. Applying KVL at the outer loop of the given circuit gives this equation of minus VEE plus IERE plus VCE plus ICRC minus VCC is equal to 0. As shown in this particular equation. Earlier, you can see that by applying the input loop, we can get the value of IE is equal to VEE minus VBE over RE. Till here, we have applied and calculated and derived two different equations for the quantities of IE and VCE. The quantity IE has been obtained by applying KVL on the input loop, that is this loop, and the quantity VCE has been calculated by applying KVL on this bigger loop. As you can see in this equation, these quantities of VEE, IERE, VCE, ICRC and VCC are the ones that are part of this whole complete bigger loop. Now let us try to derive the third and final equation for this common base configuration by applying KVL on the outer loop. That is, VCB plus ICRC minus VCC is equal to 0. As you can see, this equation has only three terms because the outer loop has only three quantities, including VCC, RC, and VCB. All you need to do from here on is to apply KVL on three different loops as discussed on this slide for your coming examples. Now let us solve an example of common base configuration circuit as shown in this diagram. In this example, we are required to determine the values of VCB, IB, VCE and IE. All of you need to do from here on is to apply KVL on three different loops as discussed on the previous slide to get three different equations. By applying KVL on the input loop, we get the equation for calculating the value of emitter current, IE, that comes out to be equal to 2.75 milliamperes. As we know that both IE and IB are related by a standard equation, IE is equal to beta plus 1 IB. So by using this equation and the given value of beta, we can calculate the value of IB to be equal to 45.08 microamperes. This value of IB is required to get the value of VCB as shown in the next part. As you can see, by calculating one equation, by calculating one parameter, the other parameters can also be calculated. In this chapter, you must have observed that by calculating one parameter, we can find other parameters related to it. As discussed earlier, the equation for calculating VCB can be obtained by applying KVL on the output loop of the common base configuration. By replacing all the given values, we can easily get VCB is equal to 3.51 volts. Finally, by applying KVL on the outer loop, we can get the equation for VCE, and by placing the given values of parameters, the value of VCE is equal to 4.11 volts. Dear students, this brings us to the conclusion of our discussion related to the DC analysis of various configurations in which a BJT can be connected. Now let us discuss a few examples in which you will learn about designing a BJT circuit through limited given information. In this example, we need to find the values of VCC, RB and RC. All we are provided with are these two figures, including an output characteristic graph with a load line and the configuration in which BJT is connected. You should be smart enough to figure out your answers from the given set of information. Like in this case, we can easily tell that the value of VCC is equal to 20 volts. By looking at the output characteristic graph, because we know that the point at which the load line cuts the x-axis is the value of VCC. As the configuration in which the BJT is connected is fixed bias configuration, for which formula of collector current is IC is equal to VCC over RC. Therefore, we can calculate the value of RC from this equation. We have already found the value of VCC, but the question arises that from where we can get the value of saturation current IC. The given output characteristic graph will again come to our rescue because we know that the point at which the load line intersects the y-axis is the value of IC. By looking at the graph, we can see that IC is equal to 8 milliamperes. So by replacing this value in this equation, we get RC is equal to 2.5 kilo ohms. We need to apply KVL on the input loop to get the equation of IB to be equal to VCC minus VBE over RB. By rearranging this equation, we get RB is equal to VCC minus VBE over IB. As we have already calculated the values of VCC, VBE and IB, we can easily get the value of RB to be equal to 482.5 kilo ohms. The only unknown quantity to calculate the value of base resistor RB is the base current IB in this denominator. The value of IB was found for this particular example by using the output characteristic graph, because like the value of VCC and IC, the value of IB can also be obtained from this load line and output characteristic graph. IB is that point where the load line intersects with the output characteristic graph as shown in this blue color. This is the Q point, and by drawing a horizontal line that cuts the y-axis gives us the value of IB that has already been shown here to be equal to 40 microamperes. By simply replacing the values of VCC, VBE and IB, we have calculated the value of RB to be equal to 482.5 kilo ohms. It is not necessary that the calculated values of resistance are available in market. Therefore, you should use the nearest possible value of resistances. Like in this case, the available values of RC and RB are 2.4 kilo ohms and 470 kilo ohms. Now let us solve another example related to the designing of a BJT circuit. In this example, instead of fixed bias configuration, we will deal with the voltage divider configuration. We are given the values of collector current IC and collector emitter voltage VCE. We need to find the values of R1 and RC for the voltage divider configuration shown in the diagram that can give the values of IC and VCE. By looking at the circuit diagram, it is equivalent that the formula to calculate the value of emitter voltage VE is equal to IERE, which is approximately equal to ICRE. As both values of IC and RE are given to us, therefore we can calculate the value of VE to be equal to 2.4 volts. After finding the value of VE, we can easily find the value of base voltage VB by using the standard equation of VBE is equal to VB minus VE is equal to 0.7 volts. This gives us the value of VB to be equal to 3.1 volts. As you would remember that we discussed two different techniques to solve a voltage divider configuration, including direct method and approximate analysis. In order to apply approximate analysis, the condition of beta RE is greater than or equal to 10 R2 must be satisfied. As you can see that in this case the value of beta RE is equal to 1200 kilo ohms and the value of 10 R2 is equal to 180 kilo ohms. So the required condition is satisfied and we can apply approximate analysis. In the approximate analysis, we learnt that we assume R1 and R2 to be connected in series. Therefore, we apply the voltage divider formula of VB is equal to R2 VCC over R1 plus R2. All the values are already known in this equation except for the value of R1 that can be found easily to be equal to 86.52 kilo ohms. Finally, the value of RC can be easily found by applying the formula of RC is equal to VRC over IC, and its value comes out to be 2.8 kilo ohms. Dear students, with this example, we come to the end of chapter number 4. In the next lecture, there will be no content covered related to this course, but I will be answering your questions that you will forward through your CR to me. Till then, take care of yourself, stay happy and stay at home.